Is there ever going to be a reboot of King of Queens? People are doing reboots. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
I don't think we can, man. Because,
with that, yeah.
Yeah, we got Jerry Stiller was so part of that show. I would not want to do it without him.
King of Queens was a spin-off of the equally popular sitcom Everybody Loves Raymond. It followed Doug and Carrie Heffernan, a delivery driver and law clerk living in Queens. They try to put up with each other while caring for her aging father, Arthur. The show ran for 9 seasons from September 21st, 1998 to May 14th, 2007. It shot off the careers of Leah Remini and Kevin James. It remains a fan favorite, and syndication gives fans time to notice unique details that may have passed them by on a first watch. Keep watching for some King of Queens bloopers and strange details you didn't know. There was almost another Arthur. Jerry Stiller was a master comedian and a standout member of the King of Queens cast. He led so many memorable scenes, but he almost never joined the cast. Jack Carter was executive producer David Bickle's first choice. He played the role in the pilot, but they replaced him with Jerry as soon as he was available. They reshot the first few scenes and realized what a rare bit of talent they had. Part of what made it work so well was how well he understood the character.
Like I say earlier, you live off of the person you're working with. I took it from the other actors, how they treated me, and in terms of the character, and I found out I was a nudge, a person who was pain in the neck, bunion on their life, and I carried it out to the best of my ability.
Motionless for 3 minutes. The showrunners of King of Queens were dedicated to making their viewers laugh and even like to troll them. They decided to prank them during the 19th episode of Season 8, Emotional Roller Coaster. Doug's friends and family enjoy his birthday party. Poor Patton Oswalt, playing Spencer, has to sit motionless for 3 minutes straight. There was no reason for it other than to see if viewers would notice. Patton later said on an appearance on The Howard Stern Show that they did notice. The behavior was also nothing new. He said the crew were all stoners who loved to pull pranks like that. Spence's peanut allergy. Standing still wasn't the only odd thing Spence did. He also had an inconsistent allergy. It wasn't explicitly stated that he was allergic to peanuts until season 4. Deacon's son nicknamed him the Scaredinator in Friender Bender, the 4th episode of season 4, because he wouldn't touch the stuff. What makes this strange is that in Richie's song, the 4th episode of season 1, he happily ate peanut M&Ms without any ill effects. He even asked if they had nuts in them and ate them anyway. The allergy may have only been added later for quick laughs and to enhance the character's nerdy persona. How did Doug and Carrie meet? A meet-cute is the center of many rom-coms, and the first meeting is the center of any love story. That's why it's surprising that the King of Queens couldn't create a consistent story for their couple. The 9th episode of Season 1, Road Rage, says they met in 9th grade and shared a special song. Season 2, Episode 17, Meat Byproduct, shows a flashback of the couple meeting when he was a bouncer at a local bar. They have a disastrous double date with Richie until she gives him another chance. Another says that he thought they met when she came to Doug's rescue while he was at camp as a child. That memory was incorrect because it was actually his cousin Danny. The showrunners left it up to the viewers to figure out, but there's one fact you can use to narrow down the possibilities. The actors are 5 years apart. If their ages are the same on the show, they couldn't have been in 9th grade together. Replacing actors. Carrie being a working woman wasn't too odd for sitcoms of its time. What was strange was that she had 2 different bosses played by the same actor. Victor Rader Wexler played Mr. Kaplan while she worked at the law firm Kaplan, Horstein & Steckler. He was also Mr. Kaufman when she moved on to a real estate firm. Veronica, Spence's mother, was played by Grace Zabriskie in season 1. She was then replaced by Ann Mira. Ann Mira was married to Jerry Stiller in real life until she died in 2015. The Sackcy's random return. Neighbors can be hell, especially in Queens. Doug and Carrie unfortunately had a set that just couldn't seem to stay away. The Sackcy's scammed the couple into a pyramid scheme in season 2, then left when they got caught. They unexpectedly returned in Swim Neighbors, the 22nd episode of season 3. The weirdest part is that no one in the show acknowledges their disappearance. Random kids on the fridge. Family pictures on the fridge aren't odd, but what's weird is who the Heffernans chose to put up. The pictures on their fridge are of children that neither they nor the other characters seem to know. This is one inconsistency that's actually addressed in the show in one episode. The most likely explanation is that they're the family of some crew members, but no one knows for sure. Have you seen our dog? The King of Queens was known for strange replacements, reappearances, and disappearances. One of the latter was unfortunately their lovable family pet, Stanley. The beagle they adopt from the Sackcys only appears in a few episodes. He then disappears without a trace or even asking Holly the dog walker to walk him once. Richie. One human disappearance on the show was Doug's friend, Richie Iannucci. He appeared often until the 3rd season and was never heard from again. The show's creator said that the actor who played him, Larry Romano, wanted to work on other projects. He does appear in a few end-of-series flashbacks, however. Missing siblings. Even King of Queens family members aren't immune to the disappearance treatment. There's also a lack of clarity over whether they even existed. Sarah Spooner was introduced as Carrie's younger half-sister in the first 6 episodes of the 1st season. She was an irresponsible, aspiring actress. Carrie's inexplicably called an only child later on. The only other time her sister's mentioned in the entire series is in Roast Chicken, the 2nd episode of season 3. Kevin explained the reason for her sudden departure in an interview, saying they couldn't think of any new storylines for her or a way to develop her. That doesn't explain her being mentioned again, or switching Carrie to an only child out of the blue. Doug also had a sister for part of the show. Stephanie Heffernan was introduced in the 3rd season, but only appeared for 6 episodes. The difference is he did mention having a sister later. Doug and Carrie's guilty pleasures. Doug may not seem smart, but he's a secret reader. He hides his books in a toolbox in Taste Budges, episode 24 of season 5. He impresses Carrie with his knowledge in high school, episode 14 of season 7. He also expresses a desire to join a book club in Gym Neighbors, episode 12 of season 7. Carrie frequently expresses how ridiculous reality shows are, but her true feelings come out when you look closer. She mentions how a bigamy scandal in her life would make great TV in Awful Bigamy, episode 24 of season 6. She becomes obsessed with The Bachelor and Educating Doug, episode 8 of season 1. She also gets obsessed with a show called Patricia's Ultimate Style in Sight Gauge, episode 2 of season 4. Doug's musical talents. Doug's not only a reader, he's a talented musician. You can pick up on it if you pay attention in a few eps. He plays the guitar more than once. He does a version of Blackbird by the Beatles in Goodnight Stalker, episode 9 of season 8. He also writes his own songs. He pens one for Carrie in Depot Man, episode 11 of season 4, and one about food in Emotional Roller Coaster, episode 19 of season 8. Lovable Lou. Lou Ferrigno was a fun addition to the King of Queens cast. He got a chance to play himself and didn't have to hide his love for the role that made him famous. The showrunners saw him in the movie called The Godson. He did a single episode, and they gave him a recurring role, which amounted to 18 episodes. He enjoyed trying comedy and getting to speak instead of grunting or yelling. Lou goes further than making puns or references. You can see the Incredible Hulk Stars collection of Hulk memorabilia throughout the show. Romaine Holiday, episode 10 of season 2, sees him give Doug a signed action figure. He reveals in a later episode that a Hulk lunchbox is his prized possession. Get me out of this uniform. What's the first thing most workers do after a long day? Most would say they get out of their uniforms, and Kevin couldn't agree more. The IPS uniform was a major pain because it was too tight. He brought the problem to the producers, explaining, quote, "The shorts were tight and they'd cut into my hips. I'd feel like writing scenes around it, like, oh, I don't need a uniform. They'd be like, but you're at work, and I'd be like, whatever, I'll show up without it." Fighting like a married couple. Leah and Kevin have the kind of relationship where they behave like a married couple, even during interviews.
Do you have any questions for me?
Oh, I do have a question for you.
What?
When did you first catch the acting bug?
As early as I can remember. I mean, I grew up on television watching I Love Lucy, and I remember hearing the laughs from the audience, and I was like, wow, to be able to do that. But now I feel like you're not listening.
I'm really not. I'm thinking of my next question.
Okay, that's not a good interview.
It's not good. I'm not good at this.
Okay, but Kevin?
Yes.
I have
Is
a
this your
question
Did
for
you
you.
answer that one, by the way?
I did, but you didn't hear me.
No, I did.
But the
what-
people at home heard me, so anybody who's married understands that you didn't listen to a word I said.
I got the gist.
What did I say?
Lucy.
Carrie and Doug's fights were part of the show's heart. Leah's a strong-willed woman and admitted she occasionally fought with her co-stars. She told Oprah they would disagree over silly obstacles before romantic scenes and couldn't look at each other for a while. She sees it as a sign of their closeness, saying, quote, "If you don't care about somebody, you don't even bother to fight with them. When you tell someone to go F themselves and they don't turn around and fight with you, then you know there's a problem." Now it's time to hear from you. Who's your favorite character from King of Queens? Let us know in the comments section below.